Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Black Ops Character Analysis. I want to get a few things straight. So, first of all, I posted on the community tab in the Discord that character analysis won't be on Sundays anymore, which I know you guys are watching this on a Sunday, but really what I meant by that is, like, it won't be scheduled Sundays, so it won't come out every Sunday like it was the past, few weeks, how it's been, like, with all the character analysis. It won't be coming out every Sunday. It'll be coming out, for example, it could come out on a Saturday or Friday or Thursday, any given content day. That's pretty much what I meant by that. If there was any confusion, I apologize, but I just wanted to set that straight. So yeah, it could come out on a Sunday like today, but it's not going to be guaranteed every Sunday. Kind of like I was trying to go for before. So it could be any given content day for character analysis, is what I'm saying. Now, I was going to have this video come out Saturday, but I kind of reserved that block off for Minecraft Adventures, which, if you guys saw, that came out the other day. Just to get more PlayStation content out there as, kind of. So I reserved the block off for that. And so, yeah, just to get a few of those things straight. Also, we haven't done character analysis in a while. I apologize for that. Between me getting a new PlayStation, I wanted to put some PlayStation content out, like I said, and a few other things. We just haven't done character analysis in a while. But we'll get back to the grind. So, yeah, today, if you guys forget, we're doing Black Ops 2 character analysis, and last episode we did David Mason, and today we're going to be doing Mike Harper, he's the secondary character. Well, he's kind of the secondary in the Black Ops 2 campaign. Like, he's around, at least in the futuristic missions, in the 2025 missions, I should say. So he's around there. So Master Petty Chief Officer Mike Harper is a deuteragonist. I'm sorry, I bombed saying that. Of the 2025 missions, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, so pretty much what I just said. And also appears in Call of Duty Heroes, which I won't be talking about that because that's kind of irrelevant in my opinion. Always getting this off the COD Wiki, great site. So we're going to start with his biography. So Harper first appeared in the prologue where he, along with his teammate David Section Mason and several other JSOC operatives, arrived at the vault to interview the retired Frank Woods and investigate his connections to Raul Menendez. Harper and Section then listened to Woods telling him his stories of his adventures with Section's father, Alex Mason, in 1986, and how Menendez came to be the man he is today, such as Alex shooting Menendez in the face and killing Woods and his sister Josefina, prompting Raul himself to seek vengeance. He later appears in Solarium, where he and Section recon an information base in Myanmar. I'm sorry if I really do not know how to read some of these names and stuff. From afar, the two grapple others from the cliffs, which is when Salazar and Crosby join them. The team glides down the mountain path to the base and break their stealth and engage the Cuban enemies there. After making their way inside the laboratories, they come across Eric Briner, a scientist hired to inspect the properties of Solarium. He introduces them to the quantum entanglement device, a chip that would make the United States infrastructure pretty much useless due to its capabilities. He also tells of Menendez's assumed superweapon called Karma. He is shot in the neck and his team returns fire and goes back to the lab entrance to see Briggs, who takes the Solarium device. Harper reappears in Fallen Angel as the JSOC dug in to investigate and record DeFalco's and Menendez's meeting. He's first seen along with the rest of the team pinned down in a grocery store until he fixed the malfunctioning claw by kicking it. They work their way up the flooded streets until a bus ridden by a flood is about to crush them. However, they manage to unlock a gate with brute force and come into Anthem. They move on and notice an MQ drone patrolling the area executing looters. They sneak past it and cut into the sewers. From there, they move on to the rooftops near Menendez's meeting and they start investigating. They move, as does Menendez, eventually leading them to an ambush, as Menendez has not only known of the infiltration, but he had engineered it. They only managed to break free and come out with the courtyard full of hostiles. With the assistance of Claws, they clear the area and command our enemy SOTCs to exit the area, and then they drive. Section and Harper come against a flaming pipe, which Harper warns of, and now we're going to kind of go over the choices and the different outcomes, kind of like we did in the last episode, if you remember. So if the flames are aborted, Harper makes a point of a close call, but it makes it through with no harm. This will award the player with Hey Good Looking Achievement and Trophy. The two run into the STC soldiers led by Tan Zhao, which is recognized by Section as a former comrade of his father's. They are initially hostile, but after hearing that JSOC is only in Pakistan in the interests of Menendez, they turn neutral and allow JSOC to leave. And if the flames were not avoided, Harper will have the right half of his face burning from having it come into contact with the flames. This mark will show in later missions, although it's purely aesthetic and does not affect the story except for some extra dialogue at the start of Karma, where he speaks on flirting with women. Salazar humorously remind him of the burn, and his face don't look too good. So that's pretty much the only difference. It really doesn't make that big of a story difference. Just his face will be burned in later missions. After reviewing the recording, the team learns that Karma is located at Colossus. Section, Harper, and Salazar travel there with the technical assistance from Fareed. Harper detaches from the two sweep the upper floors, with the others breach a central database. Harper bumps into a passing woman and hits on her, but then gets rejected. After Section and Salazar learn that Karma is not a superweapon, but a former Tacitus Corporation employee named Chloe Lynch, nicknamed Karma, and set image to Harper. He notices that she was the girl he bumped into. Harper runs into her in Club Solar, telling her that he is a Navy SEAL and she is in danger. She is hostile towards Harper at first, but after knowing terrorists are after her, she seems to shockingly believe. However, DeFalco and a few mercs join in the search for her, shooting hostages until she is given in, and he is about to kill another innocent. Chloe punches Harper to break free of his grab and surrenders. With DeFalco ordering his mercs to open fire on Harper and Section, the two clear mercs left in the club and start chasing DeFalco. After DeFalco has detonated explosives rigged around the hotel, Harper manages to convince a shell-shocked security officer to open the armory to gear up and get his men ready for combat. They chase DeFalco down and either are unsuccessful or successful in killing DeFalco and securing Chloe before they get away. So that was actually a pretty big mission for Harper, in my opinion. That was actually I mean, that is, in my opinion at least, I think that's what a lot of Black Ops 2 fans know him for, is that specific mission and, like, the club and stuff. So, that's probably, that mission was a famous time for him, at least in my opinion. So, the next chronological mission, Achilles' Veil, marks a turning point for the character, leading to either his death or survival, depending on the player's actions. During the mission, he is heard through comms as mental support for Fareed, as for being Menendez's undercover operative, and as a guide. And then he tries to contact him again when Fareed relocates with Menendez, and the latter shoots down the volatile he is in. He is dragged out and held by Menendez's troops, and Menendez demands Fareed to kill Harper with his 5.7. As Fareed holds the pistol to his head, the player is given out an option to shoot Harper or Menendez. Now, this is also a pretty big mission because pretty much Harper, if you decide to kill Harper, obviously he'll die. That is definitely a thing. He'll certainly die, and I could pretty much end this character analysis right now, because if I were to stop talking, and if Harper was killed and you didn't have a choice, that'd be pretty much his entire story, and I'd be ending this character analysis right now. But I'm not, obviously. If you shoot Harper, that's pretty much the end of the story, of course, and I'll go into detail with that. So Fareed will look away and pull the trigger, killing Harper on the spot. Section's volatile comes in Menendez's troops retreat. Fareed is shocked about what he's done, although Section calms him, saying he had no choice, and is taken to the USS Barack Obama. Section closes Harper's eyes to respect the fallen. This outcome will make Harper not appear in upcoming missions, but is essential for Fareed to live to save Karma. And if we decide to shoot Menendez, Fareed will aim his gun over Harper's shoulder and attempt to fire at Menendez, who is standing behind Harper. Before he can pull the trigger, Menendez pushes Fareed's gun away from himself, draws his own executioner, and shoots Fareed in the chest. Menendez, now knowing that it was Fareed who betrayed him, will lecture him about loyalty and then execute him with a shot to the face. Harper will remain alive, although he will be wounded and extracted by a medevac back to the USS Barack Obama, and will not appear for the rest of the mission. During Odysseus, if he survived the events of Achilles' Veil, the siege on the ship, Harper will speak to Section only over the comms for half the mission. He attacks many of the Jetwing's PMCs boarding the Obama, and he does not actually appear until after Salazar's betrayal. After Section tells him what Salazar did, he's briefly in denial about it, but quickly catches his thoughts. Section and Harper then rush to the hangars to intercept Salazar, who has surrendered without resistance. Salazar will calmly say, "Today is a difficult day, Section, but tomorrow we all win." To which Harper responds, "Not you," and shoots him in the head with the 5.7, killing him. Section and Harper then evacuate the USS Barack Obama and make it to Uvaldo and escape the ship along with Crosby. Harper then assists Sections in Cordis Dia with evacuating President Bosworth. He sits in the passenger seat of a vehicle with Section during the driving portion of the mission, and after crashing into a truck, he destroys a claw that the player would otherwise have had to fight. And then he drives the ambulance with the wounded Anderson near the end of the mission before getting out of the vehicle at the end of the mission, telling David, and I quote, "You're one crazy bastard, you know that, right?" And that's pretty much the end of that mission. And now we're going to be getting into Judgment Day, which is the final Black Ops 2 mission. And remember, all of this is only if, pretty much from Achilles' Veil all the way down to the end, this only happens if you keep Harper alive, of course. And I think, in my opinion, it's kind of important to keep Harper alive. I personally like to keep Harper alive. But, in some of my Black Ops 2 playthroughs, I kill him just because it's something different, So, in Judgment Day, Harper starts out in the same volatile section, and then they both use glider wings to safely reach the ground and participate in the invasion of Haiti. While inside the volatile, Harper voices his opinion that Menendez should be flat out murdered, stating that taking him alive didn't work out last time. After Menendez's broadcast is played in the control room and the U.S. soldiers who were with Section are killed by a booby trap, Harper and David proceed to attempt to intercept Menendez, who has donned a U.S. military uniform, before he reaches the U.S. force and escapes using his disguise. Now hold on. I want to pause it right there. How exactly, let me read this. Who has donned a U.S. military uniform before he reaches U.S. forces and escapes in his disguise. If all the U.S. forces know, unless he wears, a mask, one of the masks they wear, I guess he could escape, but in the end of that mission, he didn't have a mask on, so if they know, you'd think they all know what Menendez looked like. I just don't know how you could escape with that. That's all I'm saying. But anyway. After an explosion crumbles the floor beneath them, creating a makeshift ramp, Harper tumbles down onto a broken metal rod, which pierces his leg and temporarily incapacitates him. If DeFalco is alive, he will walk towards the severely wounded Harper and begin drawing his TAC-45, intending to execute him. Mason, however, slides down and grabs his Cap-40 from a dead Merc and proceeds to kill Menendez's bodyguards, which will consist of either 2 random Mercs or DeFalco and 1 random Merc, before stabbing Menendez in the knee and then the shoulder. If the player chooses to spare Menendez, Harper will stand up and pull out the metal rod from his leg, saying that, and I quote, "If it were up to me, you'd be with your sister right now," end quote. He then limps out of the hangar and asks the soldier for some medical attention before saying his goodbye to Section. If Menendez is killed, Harper shows a sign of relief, saying that for a while there, I thought you were going to let that bastard live. As Section carries him out from the hangar and hands over another soldier, Harper then says his goodbye and is carried off for medical attention. And that's pretty much it for Harper. Now, of course, again, if you kill him, all that stuff will be cut short, unfortunately. But I'm glad you have the choice because I really like Harper. Like I said, I prefer to keep him alive a lot more. But, on certain playthroughs, I'll just kill him just to kind of change the narrative a bit. But very important choices for Harper because it just depends on how his story goes, whether he dies or lives, and then he gets to live more out of the story, if that makes sense. So, that's pretty much it on Harper. He's one of my favorite Black Ops 2 characters. He's pretty cool. He has some funny quotes in there. And he's voiced by Michael Rooker. You can't argue Michael Rooker, bro. You cannot. You can't argue with that. He's one of the best voice actors. He acts a lot of voices, and he does pretty good, I think. So he's one of my favorite voice actors, honestly, and actually, actual actors. He's done some actual acting bits, so can't argue with that there. But yeah, so we're getting back into Black Ops 2 character now. So sorry, like I said, it wasn't around for a few weeks. Just had some other stuff getting caught up, but yeah, his character analysis is gonna start picking up. I'm gonna have a lot more plans in store for Black Ops 2 character analysis. So we're gonna wrap this up next few weeks. Yeah, with that being said, what do you guys think of Harper? Do you like him? I personally like him. He's one of my favorite characters. So comment down below what you think of him. Let's discuss that. But that'll pretty much wrap it up for today's video. So make sure to subscribe for more content, like the video, all good stuff. Discord, Twitch, Instagram, link to the description. As always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.